Well, we're. One.
All right. Welcome to the Custer County Board of Health. Today is Wednesday, August 26th, 2026. It is 1 p.m. We're at All Aboard Westcliff. I'm Luke Sepp, Chair of the Board of Health. I'll call this meeting to order. Please silence all your cell phones. And we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Flags on your right. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Board of Health Chairman
Present.
Board of Health Window,
Here.
Board of Health Member Bolzon,
Here.
Planning and Zoning Director Dorian Crawford. Here. Board of Health Director Sarah Bergson. Present. And Board of Health Secretary Kit Henry. Present.
All right. Any amendments to the agenda?
Want to introduce Elliot?
Morning, Jason. When
Welcome again. You are a favored guest here, and usually our only guest.
so much goes on though at those meetings, people should know.
All
And that's why she's here.
right. Any other amendments? None. Okay. Approval of the minutes from May 27, 2026.
Good, and I move that we accept. Thank you.
Okay. Is there a second?
There's a second.
All right. Any additional comments on those?
I didn't see any.
No.
Okay. All right.
Good job.
I'll call for the vote. Paul.
Aye.
Bill.
And I.
Yep. Aye. Meeting minutes have passed. Okay, reports. Sanitarian report. Elena. Okay.
Elaine.
See.
For our sanitation report, we have done 42 septic inspections this last quarter. And we had 32 septic permits, including 8 repairs and 3 modifications. We had 1 vault variance. We're down 38 septic permits compared with the second quarter of last year. That's a lot.
Huge.
We've finalized and updated the outs regulation. We actually got our complete approval letter from the state, so now we are issuing and using those regulations in the county. One of the things that I have on here is our septic contractor test will also be updated because it is very outdated to align with the regulations 43. So we need them to be able to answer questions that are in the new regulation.
You're gonna set change pages so people can see what changed after the fact. Maybe you think about doing be a good thing to compare.
So we have been asked whether Custer County would be interested in becoming a hub for the state septic contractor testing. So this is an option that I was currently considering because they give you the test that you issue. So it would align completely with the regulation 43. And if there's ever any updates, then the test would be updated by them and given to us.
What's the hub mean then?
It means that
give it to anybody in the area.
So it would be the same as a contractor or somebody coming in and saying, how do I get licensed in your county? At this point, if we were a hub, then I would say, do you already have the Part A exam certificate, which means they're already state certified. So if they were, then they would just register with us. They would pay the $50 registration fee and just renew every day, every year in our office as a licensed contractor. If they're not, then they would pay the $75 for the test, which gives them the books, the state books, our book. And then if they pass the test, which would be the state test, then the certificate wouldn't say Custer County Certified Septic Contractor. It would then say Part A and Custer County.
So you could do it in Fremont County.
And so then I would, me or Cheyenne would just put them in the state website. We'd have access to that. And then that's how it would be kept up that way. So that's something that we're considering. I know that we probably have to vote on that, so we'll do that in another
Yeah.
meeting, but I wanted to let you guys know that.
Good.
As far as the Aspen Acre fires, Custer County Sanitation continues to provide the water testing kits to properties affected to the Aspen Acres. I will continue assessing septic systems within the Aspen Acres fire area as the need arises. At first, we were thinking that we needed to just jump in and get out there and inspect all these systems. But after talking, with Ed Lyons from Mountain Valley Excavating, who had volunteered to help me, in that, he made mention that the issue with doing that is, one, all the flooding that's going on. And two, once we get down there, we tell them, okay, your septic system is good, then the floods continue, or with all of the debris removal, you've got big trucks, you've got all these things driving over the leach fields and everything, then we've already told them everything was good. So, his recommendation, to me was to think about, just doing it on a case by case. If they're ready to build, then we go out. It's cleaned up, the property's cleaned out, and then
Yeah,
it's
and all
safe to actually
traffic
enter in
and stuff.
anyways. With it,
Before they get their CE or their CO or whatever you want to call
yes, I would go out there and inspect, actually before we even give them a building permit, because we need to know that they even have a septic system.
Okay.
But in that aspect, the property would be safe for me or whoever the inspector is to go out into the property.
it. Good.
So as far as the fire debris removal, we've been working with CDPHE, as far as like, their permit requirements, the removal and all of that. So people have been sending in permits, but they've been sending me the state permits. And so I just been forwarding them to the right person over there. We're also going to be interviewing, next week for a joint field inspector to both assist the, assessors and the sanitation portion of our office. So, I will be training and testing someone on getting qualified to inspect septic systems to help our office. And then just looking ahead for the next quarter, we just plan on continuing implementing the updated outs regulations, and then updating the septic contractor examination, evaluating the possibility of becoming the state hub and responding to Aspen Acre fire recovery needs, and then just preparing for the new joint field inspector to assist with septic construction inspections.
They got many applicants.
We had 5.
Good. Good.
You guys have any questions?
How are things looking already for septic going into third quarter?
We've been busier this month,
Okay.
so that's a good sign with not only
Okay.
septic but building permits.
Okay. Good. Good.
Good, thanks.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Very good.
Yep, thank you very much. Public Health, Sarah Burleson. Welcome, welcome.
Oh, some brought ice cubes.
She's got another picnic basket.
Here's like that. She had hypodermic needles in there.
So I brought back the pictures, figured that might be
little more helpful, but I tried to.
1,000 words. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I tried to keep those condensed too. So I figured we'd start off with our mission statement because I don't know if it's been presented in a while. So I just wanted to revisit that and say that, you know, Custer County Public Health Agency promotes healthy lifestyles, prevents disease, protects our health and environment. So that is what we do. In case people didn't know, that is our mission. So we'll start off with epidemiology and communicable disease. So if you haven't heard, this will be news to you. Positive rabies was found in a bat by Valley View Road on 7/27/26, and a PSA was put out in the newspaper, on the radio station and other various social media platforms. And since then, we have tested 8 bats this entire season, still coming in. So
No other positives.
no other positives, thankfully. So what I thought I would review today and why this box is sitting in front of me, and I will
There's a bat in there.
I'll be very quick, right? Exactly. There is actually. So this is the testing kits that we keep at Public Health. I kind of just wanted to, since we've had the opportunity to kind of review in case people didn't know what to do with that. This is much larger to scale. So what is it? It's very similar to the species.
Australian,
Yeah, no.
That's in our belfry.
that would be an Australian vampire bat.
Okay.
All right. So when an individual finds a bat, if it's alive and people do not feel comfortable, they can try to call Justin Crawl at Wildlife, but he's been very busy with the bears. So we have encouraged people to either, shoo the bat away unless it's been found in a livable space or has had contact with a person or a pet. So we're going to pretend that my bat is dead. We find him, he's just in, again, we test what's in a livable space again, or if it's had contact with domestic animals or people. So before I touch the bat, I want to put on protective equipment. So gloves work great. Again, anything to keep you from physically touching the bat. Then we're going to take our handy dandy container or Ziploc bag, whatever people prefer, dealer's choice. And then I like to say, collect the specimen with tongs, tweezers, anything. I would not recommend, any eating utensils. Please dispose of them after you've had contact with the bat. So then you pick up the bat and you shove them in the bag. Then you create a seal and you call us at Public Health. So our main line number is 719-783-3369, or you can call my cell phone if it's on an off hour, and we will come into the office and collect the bat. So my cell phone is 719-371-7515. So when you bring it to Public Health, we also glove up. We collect the bat, we collect general information, where the bat was found, who it had contact with, pet or person, and what day you collected it. We inspect it. We really try to encourage people, if they can't deposit the pet or the bat to us, put it in the fridge, not the freezer. The freezer will damage the brain tissue, which will then alter the test results. So put the bat in the fridge if you can't get it to us immediately. Then when we collect the information, we'll let you know and give you a call when we get test results. We then take our little friend and we double bag it in biohazard labeled baggies. And then we put a lot of these lovely little rabies stickers. It goes into the cooler and we ship it off to Denver. And then we usually get test results within, depending on how everything times out, about a day or two. So, and then we can give you advisement from there. So any questions? We are the bat people. Please call us. Any questions on obtaining?
So there's time between when you mail it and you get it back, react appropriately with a person who is dreading the shots.
Yeah.
What about animals? Yeah.
So
Touch them and eat them.
that's really great. So if the pet is vaccinated, we usually recommend, and in this case with the positive bat, it had contact with a pet. And so we got that pet a booster. So that is the advice, if they don't want to wait, they can boost. It's not going to hurt the animal. It's actually a better protective measure. So, and then with people, we have a chart that kind of guides us through, like, okay, do you know if it had contact or not? Because they may not know, and it can carry, fun fact, bats lick themselves and the rabies can be transmitted through saliva. So again, anytime there is contact, we just want to test. So don't touch it. No petting, no touching.
Who brought you the first bat or the bat? I mean, not who, but how did they bring it to?
So they give us a call. We say, okay, here's our office. Do you know where it's at? Have you collected it? Do they need further instruction?
Told them not to touch it.
Yeah, we guide them through it if they haven't collected a bat before. And most people that do bring us bats, it's not their first bat. So, but we do give step-by-step instruction if needed. So happy to.
First road.
Correct.
Is that's like one, district more than the other?
Oh.
They are attracted to insects. So if you
They're all down on your district.
Yeah.
anywhere, they like the trees, they like the water, they follow bugs. So any heavy concentration of insects, you're going to find more bats. You can spray for bats. There are a couple pest control companies that will do, if you know your regular, again, seal up any cracks, crevices in your homes because they like to crawl into small, tiny places where it's warm. And call us if you have any additional questions. We have probably answered most of them. So thank you for my bat demonstration. Thought that would be kind of fun. So. All right. We did have a salmonella case here in June, just one, but statewide there has been quite a salmonella outbreak. The state performs these investigations. We are not sure what the cause is yet. It's pretty extensive because salmonella can live in many, many places though. When we hear back, I will let you guys know. And then of course our measles are still prominent and, with back to school, we're a little keeping an eye on things to make sure.
What's prominent mean? 15, 14?
Nationwide, you're still over 1,000 cases. So it's here. It's going to be here for a while.
Colorado, you
I haven't.
I'm not putting you on the spot.
No, you're good. I would have
Is
to
it
check.
significantly enough to say we got a terrible thing going.
I haven't heard of any recent outbreaks in our counties. The last outbreak was in Lake County, and that was before the fire.
Yeah,
So
I haven't heard anything. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
correct. And if anything happens, you will be some of the first to know.
I'm sure.
Hopefully not. We're working on getting our back to school vaccinations completed for our kiddos. So hopefully not.
Did you get it narrowed down to the shots or only 3 or 4 instead of 15 or whatever the boogie dance is?
That's a good question. So we still have the combined shots. But what we do for our citizens that, may not want all of those previously recommended vaccines is you can do them one at a time at Public Health. Whatever you feel safe and comfortable is what we want to do for you and your family. So, and we actually see quite a bit more vaccines because people like that approach here in our community. They get to talk with us and we get to, talk about our other services and things like that. Because we're not a doctor's office, we usually have a little bit more time to dedicate on that one-on-one. And people come back and continue to do their series just a little less at a time. And truly too, especially if it's a child's first vaccine, if they haven't had one, we like to do them one at a time in case they have a reaction because we're so far from healthcare. It's not a bad approach and people seem to like our customization.
Is there a rule on shingles? Shingles would be a good thing to get into.
Yes, we have shingles. So we have Shingrix is the brand that we use. It's a 2-step vaccine process. So anybody that has had the chickenpox, please come and see us. It's usually recommended over the age of 55, unless you're immunocompromised, then talk to your doctor. And then it's a 2-step shot. So you get one and then another booster dose between, I believe it's 4 and 6 months. So, and then you're good. So please come and see us. That is a very prominent, especially in times of high stress, whenever your immunization, your immune system is compromised, shingles can rear its ugly head and it is not fun.
No.
No. So I've got some horror stories if anybody wants to listen to those. So awesome. Which great topic way to roll in to our vaccinations. So every year we have a VFC audit. So that's our Vaccines for Children. That's what that abbreviation stands for, program. And we passed with no additional follow-up. So we were perfect, which was pretty excellent. So I think that is one of the first times since I've been there that, it has been so well polished. We have it down to such a science that They had no remarks. Everything was great. So we've vaccinated 107 total clients with 138 total vaccines since May. 46 Tdaps were given free to the Aspen Acre fire evacuees, which is really impressive. And we still have a few additional in stock in case we have some remainders that need. So please send them to public health and we can get them all done. And then we've started with our back to school vaccination efforts. We've seen quite a few children recently. And then of course we're preparing for our annual flu clinic coming up. We have several, which I will tell more about later on. All right. Okay, and then I did this little chart because we're still in this, but our emergency preparedness and readiness is what EPR stands for, and our participation in the Aspen Acres fire. So I broke it down to response, recovery, and future preparedness. So, in first responding, we've been present and assisted in the shelter and the disaster assistance center. We provided Tdap vaccinations, water testing kits, personal protective equipment, and air purifiers. I believe we gave away over 695 masks. We gave 60 air purifiers away, and I did not count the water test kits because we still had a few left over, but it was quite a few. So very, very wonderful distribution on that. And then I wanted to brag about my staff because every one of my staff participated in response efforts as well as kept everyday operations going. And we are a very small team. So it's myself, Deb, and Patrick, who are full-time, and then Barb is part-time, but she went above and beyond and volunteered on top of her work hours. So I just wanted to give really good kudos that our team at such limited capacity could function at such a high quality of care. So hey team. And then we are still assisting, OEM and planning and zoning and whatever, they need in the recovery plans and efforts. And we attended a county and state after action report on the 19th, which was good. We could strategize in a bigger forum. And then of course, we're here to help residents if there's still questions. I've gotten a couple calls about, repeated water testing and things of that nature. Air quality is much better now. Happy to report on that. And then, of course, during this recovery period, we're trying to attend, different disaster trainings and educations to improve our team. I went to one from the Purdue University. It was a school for engineers, but they covered disaster topics. It was learning about different recovery efforts, what works, what doesn't work. So that was a pretty good one. I think Delena went to that one as well. I thought it was a really nice free training, so virtual. And then we, of course, created this lovely re-entry guide. I brought a copy in case anybody has not seen this lovely document, but it was very thorough and we had really good response from the evacuees that they were very appreciative to have it both in printed copy as well as a digital QR code if they wanted it in a digital format. All right. And then, of course, we're trying to grow our team in this area. We're looking to, always look for further resources. I do have to give a shout out to CCKC Director Stacy Terrell, who coordinated a lot of, the air purifiers were obtained through a state resource of hers. She's coordinated and continues to coordinate a lot of resources. So she's been very integral, and I wanted to give her a special shout out as well. So awesome. Thank you. As for our substance abuse prevention block grant, it has ended officially. So we did place equipment at Hermit Park Field. So there are free tennis and soccer equipment, very well used. I can definitely speak to the latter because we play a pickup game every Thursday evening and all our kids like to use it. But outside of that, I see kids playing in the park all the time. So it's there available. There's information about our Positive Pathways program, and it has a good count and inventory of all our supplies. And of course, we still have free rental equipment at our office and the library, so hiking, bird watching, things like that. Please come and see us. We can rent that out to you at no cost. And then even though this grant has concluded, we are still continuing with these programs with our regional funding. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Stuff get walked away, but lose anything?
Surprisingly not. Some damage just because pickleball rackets, we're gonna have to order a couple more of those, but they're pretty not as expensive. I think it really speaks to our community because it doesn't walk away. So, and it does get used. I couldn't ask for better. So if anybody has any questions, please let us know. Yeah, so been a great program. Helped a lot of youth, which is, and still helps youth. It's really wonderful. Happy to be part of that. Okay. Oh,
No, it's not.
that's okay. The other slide isn't as fun because it doesn't have a picture. I can just read it. So in our STEP efforts, so that's our tobacco grant from the tobacco fund. So we are working on new strategic planning for 2027. We have received our increased funding, so it about doubled from last year, which is wonderful. So it's about a little over $23,000 this year, which is excellent. And then we are implementing the second chance policy for the school this fall. So that is if a child gets caught with any tobacco or vaping related progress, they get put through an educational program instead of punitive punishment. If it becomes a habit, then it's, so there's a hierarchy to this policy, but that it's really trying to focus on why smoking is so dangerous. So that will go in this fall, which is really exciting. And then at least 2 community members are going to be trained in Strong Start program. So this is a program for pregnant women and their families. So it's focused on tobacco and marijuana. So we are trying to educate folks that there is this program, they have incentives to really try to get them, you know, off to a healthier start when they're growing their families. So very exciting. Okay. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay.
This is a grant, and my guess it came from Louisiana due to federal orders down there.
Thank you. Okay. And then CPR remains one of our most popular programs. So we have an upcoming course, which I believe is already full on the 12th, which is a Saturday. That's one of our heart savers. So for the community members at large, I believe there's 9 or 10 signed up. So EMS is on standby in case we get more folks. They have 2 or 3 instructors that are going to co-teach with us if we need it. So that is really exciting. We've had 20 people certified since May, and a few of us were recertified as instructors, so that was exciting. We have since our last meeting written a letter of support for AEDs in the county in collaboration with EMS. So there is 56 requested units, 30 of which we requested for us in county buildings. So that's really exciting. And then we've loaned out our loaner AED to 2 of the bigger festivals and events, which was the High Mountain Hay Fever Festival and Airfest. So in case and we're happy to do so. So if anybody knows of any upcoming events and they would like to use our loaner AED, please call us and we can coordinate that. So that was really cool to see that getting used in the community. All right. Yeah, and I have a flyer if anybody's interested in the CPR course. It is. It's very pretty. Great.
Oh, sorry. just a
Yes.
question. So if the course is already full, should we keep running with that flyer?
Yes, because then we call an EMS and see if they have somebody to give us. So yeah, Patrick Fiore is our coordinator for that program. So we just call Patrick. Patrick tells us, okay, 2 full. And then we work on scheduling another date. So we've really been trying to stick to a monthly schedule to really provide the opportunities for our community. With the fire, it's become a little more challenging, but I have a solution down the road that I will ask for at the end of this presentation.
As long as there's no money involved.
Maybe minimal, but cost benefit, you'll know.
Oh.
So. As for our maternal child health program, we attended Family Fun Day. We gave a presentation of all things vector-borne illness, so ticks. We had kids pick off or learn to pick out a tick with big tweezers and a plush tick. It was really fun. And then of course, collecting the bats and then dog bites. So those are our frequently most affected that had affected children in the previous year. So we did some education and it went over very well. We had some great goodies and giveaways that were much appreciated. We have completed 82 sports physicals. So that's pretty awesome. And this was all during and after the fire. So I think that's a pretty impressive number. Thank you to Amelioration Health for being our provider for those. We have started our Impact BH grant work. So for those that don't know, that is our perinatal mental health grant work. We have started getting together with our home birthing providers to try to set goals in how we're going to approach screening for depression and anxiety. So we're trying to get everybody using the same tool so that anybody can go almost anywhere to get screened in real time with the most accurate screening tool. So very exciting work. And then we are preparing for our Traveling Smiles event in November. So that's where kiddos can get free cleanings and screenings from our dental hygienist from Traveling Smiles. That will be at the school, and we're choosing dates. So I will keep you guys updated. And then we are offering our free birth and breastfeeding classes taught by myself and Brittany Burke from Root and Flow Doula Services. We had an August date picked, but we didn't have many moms that signed up. So we moved it to October to try to catch some more of those fall winter moms. And that will be hosted at the Lighthouse Pregnancy Center. They're going to let us host our whole classes there, which is great. Really collaborating and exploring other services and making sure folks know where they are and what they do. So we're excited to be partnered with them, and they're not charging us for their facilities. It's really nice. And then onward and upward to our lovely community outreach and upcoming events, which we have a very full calendar coming up. So Silver Cliff Family Fun Day, I will be in attendance with my little tiny human. We will be giving away first aid kits. I have some really cute ones that have my business card inside. So hopefully that will promote all of our services, including, getting youth exposed to the idea of CPR training. So it comes with like Band-Aids and basic things in the little kit. We are working on our animal flu clinic, which will be at the school. So we just secured our date at 9/25. So I will be making a pretty flyer for that and sending that out. We are participating in the senior fair, which we will be doing flu vaccines on site. That'll be the second at Lang Hall. Very excited to be a part of that. I'm on the Aging Consortium that organizes that event, and they are going to have a specific focus on disaster preparedness for seniors. So very, very exciting. Hope you guys can make it. It's going to be wonderful. Then we're also doing a separate offsite flu clinic for the senior center, which will be on 10/15. And then of course our birth and breastfeeding classes that I mentioned on the previous slide. And then as public health staff, we are going to, so myself and Patrick are going to public health in the Rockies. So this is the first time that we've been able to go in the past 5-6 years. So this will be wonderful to go gain insight on new programs and all things statewide public health and bring it back to here for Custer County. And then Patrick is going to be a panelist at the CEO, so the Colorado Opioid Abatement Conference in October. So that was really exciting. All right.
Is it that? Is it the 30th? The fun day? I thought it was.
Oh, it's the 28th, sorry.
Or the 29th.
29th.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I filled
I
this
was
out.
listening to him.
Nope, you're right. Disregard that.
Okay, 29th.
See,
All
it's the
right.
29th, day before.
Okay,
We'll change that.
that's fine.
Thank you for catching.
Yeah.
See all the fun stuff, it just gets
I have a
doubled,
hard time keeping up with dates the way it is without somebody changing them on them.
right? Hey, just checking to make sure everybody's paying attention. This is
That's
good.
There's a test.
There it is. Right. You
You
have.
should have started that at the beginning.
Should have.
There's a test question.
There's Easter eggs in there. That maybe come November. Sarah's gonna keep that in mind. I like that. So we completed our portion of the county audit in July, so everything looks really, really good. The big exciting news is that we have officially applied for the Rural Transformation Health Funding with the hospital district. So we submitted our portion of the application is for $42,000 for a part-time nurse case management position. So something that we really want to focus on, and this is not age specific. This nurse would be for everybody. So the cool part is the EMS will do some case management. What we're here is more of a supportive role so that the community paramedics do not get too bogged down because there's only going to be 2 of them and they're going to be busy enough. So we're here in a supportive capacity to really try to, bring more, those higher needs clients that really need focused education, chronic disease management and things of that nature is where public health is going to come in. So we're really, really hoping we're supposed to hear, I believe at the end of September. I do have highlight of the grants entirety. It's a 5-year grant. They applied for over $1 million from the hospital district. Again, a very small portion from us. And they're going to be managing those funds. So if you guys wanted to see the highlights, because I believe the actual grant application was over 40 pages. So it was a very heavy lift, a lot of collaboration, but this is a pretty robust program that has elements of sustainability in it so that when the grant money goes away, that this can remain. So I'm personally very excited. So.
Good.
Right. And it will provide a stronger approach to our healthcare infrastructure here in Custer County. So glad we got to be a part of it. Thank you guys for granting the permission to help pursue those dollars. So we are preparing for our county budget hearing, and we've started to include fringe benefits in all allowable grants to increase our county savings. So we're giving back. We're doing all the things. So, and then my Q&A. This has to pop up. So we've had this part-time nursing position out for quite some time now. I've had one applicant, they were overqualified. So what we're hoping to do is to ask the board to be able to offer a full-time position if we find the correct candidate. So to offset costs, I have additional grant funding, and on the previous slide, more grant funding to come to support the transition from a part-time to a full-time. So we're trying to cast a wider net. We're also proposing that, so the part-time request was for a maternal child health nurse. We're wondering if it's too specialized and we need to go for a general public health nurse to broaden our scope for a greater amount of applicants, because we can train that specialization. We don't deal with we're not NICU, so we're not dealing with sick babies. And if we do have sick babies, my background is in maternal child health, so they have me. So we're really just, again, we want to bring that overall service to our citizens. And right now it's myself and Deb. We have not replaced our previous nurses for 2 years. And we've unfortunately lost a few along the way, Beth Green and of course Peggy Martin. And so I think it is now time, with all the grant money that we have and have rearranged, that we obtain a full-time nurse. So I have also kept our previous applicant. So we have the EPR coordinator. I've kept that in an admin and a part-time capacity. We thought about maybe going to full-time for that, but we're going to get better use out of a nurse. And we have found a potential applicant. So that's my request. And again, it's grant funded. And we're giving back fringe, which is increasing the savings to the county. And with this season coming up and all that we've been through, I know one of the concerns was not having Tdap vaccinations on site. With another nurse, I can do that. So that is my proposal. I will await your answer. And let me know if you have any additional questions. I've got money. I have money.
A lot of businesses are saying they're tired of smoking around their buildings and they don't know what the law is. And all of Main Street, based upon what I have seen, all of Main Street should be smoke free. That also means vape. You can't vape. But I think it's starting to, I'm getting more complaints about it. And I don't know if they just don't know what the law is. They don't, business owners are struggling just to keep businesses open, much less know what everything. So I don't know if we can do our own sort of campaign and maybe find some money for some signs that we need to post up, especially downtown, maybe along the country store, places where people congregate more so.
We actually printed off some updated signs. We're waiting to, there's a place, shop, like an online shop that you can purchase signs from. And that goes with our STEP program. And Fremont County is also working on improving theirs as well. So they're our partner in that. And so we are working with them to kind of universalize, hey, very clear signage, people understand what that means, how do we enforce it and things like that. So yes, and bringing back to the nurse question, I would like, so Patrick really heads the STEP program right now. But I would like to pay with some STEP dollars for that nurse, because then she can focus on, or he can focus on, going into the schools and educating our youth from a healthcare standpoint with that backing. You know, helping with some chronic disease management at the blood pressure clinic, tying all of that into one healthcare bundle. So just thoughts, and using, again, differential funding, that STEP funding has been there every year. So something that will sustain throughout time. But yes, we do, I've worked with Buck, the mayor of Silver Cliff, on one complaint. We followed up on it, and we are getting that business some additional signage. So absolutely, please. And if anybody has those complaints, have them call our office so we can navigate them to resources and help educate and things like that. So. Awesome. And then I wanted to ask you in addition, so let me know if you want to like come back to the request for staffing and we proceed with this second question, or so I just wanted to ask the Board of Health if there was any other sites that you guys would like us to do an offsite flu clinic for that we missed. So we're doing the senior center, the school, senior fair, we do one in Wetmore, and then we do Valley. So those are our 5. So if you guys think of any additional ones, please let us know so we can plan those out appropriately. And then let me know if there's anything I can do to improve our presentation format, besides getting the date right on one thing.
The air quality monitor, we have that from Wetmore. It's in the annex. I think that's the one that goes. That's the one that's been.
Oh, yeah, it needed.
Okay.
Yeah. And we still have the one internal, it's in our office, the indoor air monitor. Just for it back yet, but we have it. So when they do, we'll send it back. And that's another one too, that's a project I know we have visited as a Board of Health to purchase those, but with budget being tight, we'll have to see where priorities end up lying, and if there's any additional grants that we can apply for, that we can do things of that nature. So.
And then the airport does need a new AED. Theirs is out of date. So you want to send me the information and JC and Kim the information so they can put that in their budget and what that cost is.
Sounds good. If they want to go with the Avive unit.
That's just as well. We just well keep it the same throughout.
It's good. Yeah, I believe those are up to $1,800, but I'll get you an exact quote. I think Patrick has been working with somebody, but I'll make sure.
Okay.
Perfect. Awesome.
Anything else?
One thing I mentioned, because you mentioned the environment and what that's doing with rabies and all that. Bears are a problem.
Yes, they are.
And I can tell you firsthand, we were massacred. All our chickens got it yesterday, day before. And I talked to Justin Crawl, so and you can pass this along. The reason it is because of the drought. They're coming for water, but more importantly, the drought caused, and remember how hot it got in February and January. So the scrub oak didn't make acorns this year and other berries. And the bear needs 20,000 calories a day in order to get ready for hibernation. And so their answer is that they can't control them. They've had 1,100 calls. They know all about the bears. And this was I call it a baby bear, but it was big enough to go rip the door off, chicken coop, eat everything inside, and just leave a few feathers. And the answer he's got right now is he's issuing hunting tickets. We're going to shoot them and control populations a little bit too much anyway. And so they're going to give the landowner, people that are having problems where it is an issue, and we'll be able to shoot them.
That's good to know. We actually had our first bear in the entire time I've lived in our neighborhood, just like 6-7 years. And which was quite surprising. And luckily, I live next to a wonderful, dedicated posse member who's
Yeah, took care.
very good. So
They'll give you a certificate. We still have to buy it just like anything else, but we're not gonna have to wait in the pool for the hunting license to go hunting.
good to know.
So pass that on.
Well, thank you, Commissioner. Oh, and then one last thing. I was asked by the Aging Consortium to give you guys, they are moving forward with the launching of the Neighbors Helping Neighbors program. So this is for seniors and for anybody who wants to volunteer to help seniors. UCOG is heading this up. It's going to be a very, very cool system, which then in turn will help us with our next disaster because they will know if folks are in need and what their needs are because they will be connected with the neighbor. So these pamphlets are great. I have lots more if you know of places to to distribute, and we'll get you going. But that's very exciting, and they did a really, really good job on this pamphlet. So.
Cheryl's gonna lead this
Yes,
from your company.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Sarah. Good job.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any unfinished business?
Not here.
And I don't think there's any new business. Public comment? Is anybody online?
There was an incident in Pania recently where a homeowner shot in his backyard, that's what Justin is responding to, because CPW is investigating.
Mhm.
This might be an intent, sounds like it's an attempt to get ahead of the problem.
Oh, bears in there. It is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they decided to do statewide. But this county,
Shrink the,
like I said, 1,100 things.
shrink the
You
pack.
can't trap them quick enough, do anything with them if you did. And it isn't gonna do any good because they're gonna come right back. They're hungry.
Yeah.
They gotta eat.
Well, there's no barrier, I mean, it's not just the acorns, the blueberries.
Oh, yeah, there's lots more than that.
Nothing, I mean, there's nothing
Mhm.
or anything.
Yeah, and Wetmore, they eat the choke cherries. I haven't seen
Cherries.
any of those.
All right, anybody online for public comment? Okay. All for adjournment. Thank you, gents.